All right, trumpets, as promised, we're going to go over the first 5 notes. The first 5 notes in your method book, and make sure that you really kind of understand them, what they sound like, where they're at on the staff, and what fingers to use when playing them. So, in order, the first note we learn is the G. Now, for some beginning trumpet players, that's kind of difficult because you have to really get a firm buzz. When I talk about the buzz, especially when we're going on the higher notes, I like for all of my students to think about bringing the buzz toward the center and making sure that you're getting control here, that you're buzzing in the center more directional here versus the whole lip buzzing. So what that would look like is if I wanted to buzz a high note, notice I'm really centering that buzz to the center of my lips. I'm not going where my lips are kind of doing this. The other thing I often see with trumpet players is that when they're first starting, they do this thing like a pucker. That is not buzzing. You're always going to get a low note if you're going. I know it sounds funny, right? So what you want to do is kind of flatten out your lips, bring your corners back, and buzz like that versus hopefully you can see the difference, and I don't mind making a fool of myself if it makes you a better musician. So, keeping those corners back and playing into the trumpet with no buttons down, I'm going to play my G. So the G is open on the treble clef staff. It's on the second line. And again, it's played like this. All right, the next note that we learn in our method book is the F, which is using the first finger on the first valve closest to your face. The F, same thing, kind of a tight buzz for beginners, so make sure we're keeping that firm embouchure, corners back, buzz to the center. That's the F. If we're looking at the treble clef staff, it's going to be on the first space on the bottom. Again, the F sounds like this. So if I play my G, then my F, my G is slightly higher, slightly tighter buzz. G first. And then I went down to the F. The third note that we learned in the method book is the E. E is going to be 1 and 2. The first 2 fingers closest to your face. So E is on the bottom line of the treble clef staff. And E sounds like this. Now, for buzzing, this is when you can start to kind of relax just a little bit. But again, these notes are really close together. You don't need to do much with your lips. E again sounds like this. I'm going to play those 3 notes going down. Remember the G, nice tight buzz. Going G, F, then E. All right, our fourth note is going to be the D. And D is going to be our first finger and our third finger. All right, so we're kind of we're skipping that middle finger. Ooh, naughty. So first and third finger, and this is a little bit lower than the other 3. The D is right below the bottom line on the treble clef staff. Let's play that one again. D. All right. So now we got the 4 notes. We're going to start at the G and go down. I just want you to keep on remembering what that G sounds like. It's pretty high at the beginning. Here we go. G, F, E, D. All right, we're on our 5th note now. Our 5th note in the method book is C. C is below the staff on something we call a ledger line. So that ledger line, it sits there right below the staff, and our C sounds like this. Open fingers, just like the G, but looser embouchure, looser buzz. So similar to the G, but now I get to relax my lips and I don't have to have that tight buzz. Here we go. Here's that C again. So an exercise that I like to have my students do is to practice going between that G and that C, back and forth. And when you feel comfortable with that, like kind of start, what is happening? What is going on that makes that note work for you? So some students find that they need to use more upper lip or more bottom lip to make it more comfortable for them as players. Everyone's mouth is shaped different. Everyone's teeth are shaped different. So what works for you is okay. The one thing I want you to remember is the buzz needs to be the same. That buzz cannot be that pucker, or you will always get a low note, no matter how hard you're trying to tighten that type of buzz. It has to be the one where you bring your corners back, right? So there's a couple exercises you can practice to do this. You can just play those 5 notes and practice going up and down them. Starting with the G, that high one. Because you know that going down and going up, they're going to be slightly different in pitch, whether they go slightly lower or slightly higher. So going stepwise down and up those notes can help you develop this. Another thing you can do is take your mouthpiece off and do a siren. Now your siren is not going to be probably that wide yet because you're developing this embouchure and what you're doing, but mine is going to be really wide. I'm going to be able to go really high with my buzz and really low. And the goal is to make it as wide as you can. So I'm going to start high. Now I'm going to go from low to high. So that's a siren. It's kind of fun. Yours may sound not nearly as wide as mine, and that's okay. I've been doing this for 20 years. I should be able to do a good siren. The other thing you can practice is simply going from your low note to your high note, the open note, your C to your G. So as you're working on those notes, just practice going back and forth. If it sounds like the same note, then you need to do something here to change because you can't use your fingers to change that note. So I'm going to start with my low note. So you can tell that the difference is not much. I'm not like going crazy, weird things in my mouth. I'm not pushing my mouth into the mouthpiece. I'm just simply taking that buzz and centering it to the middle and then relaxing it out. So as you guys are playing those 2 notes, know that you have to play them differently. Yes, they're the same fingering, but you're doing something different here in order to make that note higher. And then eventually you'll be able to do all those crazy bugle calls. All right, good luck.